Well, further from the corrections department, when we brought up Glenn, who brought the Earthshine, he wrote us a very nice letter, gave us some more Earthshine. I'm going to stay off.
And by Earthshine, for those of you who don't know, it's high quality moonshine.
Right.
I'm certain that we're all going to jail for some kind of federal crime.
He typically uses it for his absinthe, but it's like an ingredient of his absinthe, or her absinthe. That's what the correction is.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we have a lot of transgender Harmontown fans.
How many?
3 is a lot. It's a very peculiar state to be in, transgender. Three is a crowd.
Is Glenn here?
No, Glenn is not here. Glenn/Jane, who she said that when she came up,
I know what it's like to be dead.
I asked, what's your name? And she blurted out Glenn, force of habit. Wanted to send a letter of, or among other things, saying, like, by the way, so that people don't get confused on the internet, where he is very much out of the transgen closet and things, as Jane, spelled Ganne, rhymes with plane. That's the thing that kills me. Jane, you're transgender, but not enough complexity for you. Your name is Jane, spelled Ganne, just in case like anybody got through the transgender gauntlet without being alarmed or confused.
Did she or he? How do I address he or her? He or she?
I think the whole idea is that they identify as a female, and so the pronoun you use is she.
Because Glenn could be a female name as well.
I suppose anything could be, but she has assumed a new angle of identity. I don't know. You can't even talk. It's a new emergent thing. It's exciting. I'm actually very flattered.
Why do our transgender fans come here in male attire? Like if they
because
identify as
they're not transvestites. They are not necessarily.
I don't know anything about this.
I don't either. And what's funny is that half of the people, you brought Levi up, and he started talking about his thing, and you could hear people in our LA audience going, like he's being closed-minded about describing himself as transgender because he said he wanted to. He is okay having a mustache because he doesn't have a uterus, and you could hear people going glass ceiling or whatever. He said something that wasn't the exact way that other people understand transgender to be. Transgenderism? I don't even know what to call it. But I am very flattered that because I don't think you could get more fringe psychologically. Is that politically incorrect to say? I don't think you could be more complex on the inside of a human head compared to what's going on outside your body. In other words, as far as somebody that you would look at in line at the bank and not be immediately presented with something that registered with you, that you couldn't have more noodles going on up there, more twists and turns, more reasons to be distrustful of the people around you, more suspicion, more fear that somebody might bully you for answering questions about yourself or expressing yourself. And so I'm very, very flattered. I take that as a barometer of our good work here and my good philosophy and religion, and that any person in that situation would listen to our podcast and feel comforted and feel comfortable, expressing that. I think that's.
Is anybody else here a transgender that we don't know about? Have we met all of them, or are there more lurking about? All right. Well.
All right.
I mean, I think they all are. They're just more afraid to say it.
Yeah. There's a couple of trans Scientologists, people who they identify as Scientologists, but they don't actually. They're not Scientologists. They want to be called Scientologists because they feel like a Scientologist, but they're not going to pay for that crap.
So I'm not being like flippant. You can identify as a woman, look like a man, not want to dress like a woman.
Right.
Just inside, you're a woman.
Right.
But dress like a guy.
Right.
And that's
right.
You just yeah. Is that someone not following through with it, or is that somebody saying no? I just am a woman and I'll still dress like a guy named Tony?
I think it's just breaking it up into different strata. Like you could stop there if you want. That's a thing, and then there's people of that that are in that situation that therefore want to I know there's a different language for it. They take steps medically, hormones and stuff.
Transition.
They transition.
Okay.
Our friend.
I think I heard it said a long time ago that nobody. I mean, very few people would be completely heterosexual if it was a sliding scale from 0 to 100 or like from left to right. That people's sexuality tends to be somewhere like along a sliding scale. That nobody's completely masculine or completely feminine. Where do you feel you fall on the scale, Dan? How close to totally masculine, or toward the middle into to the nether regions?
Yeah, I think Mark Ruffalo's a real charming piece of. I wouldn't mind if he pulled up on his motorbike and showed me how to garden. I could surrender to. Sexually speaking, I've never even had the time or energy to examine where in the spectrum between hetero and homo I would fall, because there's too much going on in the hetero side with me and my various kind of kinks and things. Like I'm sort of caught between hetero and asexual. I feel like some weird shit happened to me when I was a kid involving maybe hanging out under the table while 70s pantyhose clad women hung out, and I think there's some kind of leg fetish thing that I almost feel is I really like fully clothed women, and it's very, very strange. There are things that I consume as pornography that you would not consider pornography.
Let's just say for Thanksgiving I invited Mark Ruffalo over, and he was wearing nice trousers.
Oh, nice trousers.
Yeah, and let's say that you dropped your napkin under the table, and you saw that Mark Ruffalo was wearing a kind of a high heel, and he was
no. I like the feminine leg. The shape of it.
Have you seen Mark Ruffalo's legs?
Well, if he could pass, there's guys on YouTube that do that. You're clicking around. You're like, here's what peels my banana. I'm looking for legs and tights, and they'll do a little shoe play across the leg. And you find something, and it's like, oh wow, that's pretty good. And then the comment section is like, dude, guy, dude, and you're like, what? Oh, god damn it! You got me, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to look closely for that Adam's apple right on the back of the calf.
I didn't know that. What is shoe play? Tell me more.
Shoe play is dangling, dipping, heel popping.
What is it? Okay.
Those are the three subtypes of shoe play. I'm glad you asked.
Dan, would you please elucidate what is the difference between dangling and dipping?
Dangling and dipping. Dangling is leg crossed, shoe hanging off the toe, Sexy secretary, librarian, or something
And is the whole woman in frame or just the leg?
Just the leg is fine with this old timer.
Wait. We have we have a colloquy here. How many other people are into dangling and dippings?
I dated a shoe fetishist.
You dated a shoe fetishist?
Yeah.
Wow. And so did you dangle and dip and pop and the whole sweep squab and the flip flap?
The vernacular with it, but yeah,
Dangling, dipping, heel popping.
Okay, so what's dipping? What is dipping?
Dipping is shoe on the floor, as far as I understand it.
Do you have high heels on right now?
Yeah.
Can you dangle and dip for us up there?
They're
Let's welcome her to the stage.
Well, it's an audio podcast.
Yeah, but
I don't think she's going to be able to dip with those shoes.
Yeah. If you're dipping into the shoe.
It's just imagine a looser, a high heel shoe, or a flat or something that had easy, you can get your foot in and out of it. So dipping is the woman is in and out, kind of.
Do you want a shoe?
I don't. It's an audio podcast, and also I'm getting weirdly this is making me nervous.
A woman, Lauren, right?
Yeah.
Well, Lauren from the front row came up and offered to dip and dangle and dingle and scrape scrub. A woman from the second row has just offered up a shoe. Just produced a high heel.
Yeah, we're getting to the city limits of where Aaron's not going to be very happy listening.
Get the shoe up here. Fuck it, let's do this. I want to know about dangles and dips and scoops and squeebs and the whole flim flam. What's your name, madam? Annie.
Well, this is a weird choice for a podcast to make. I'm worried as a producer. Like, what are people listening to?
We're bringing women up on stage, and we're
me too. So.
And also, just so Aaron knows, I'm not like Howard Sterning or anything. I'm not even gonna look or anything. Like, Aaron, if you're listening, like, I'm not. This is not like I'm not being like
Aaron,
Andy Kaufman wrestling with women. Or
Aaron, if you're listening, Dan has his pants down already.
That's very important to me. I wouldn't tolerate the equivalent with Aaron. You know. I was a little upset when she was fucking around with that cat shirt guy. Wait a minute, that cat shirt guy. Okay, fuck it.
He was hot.
No. Anyways, okay. What's your name, ma'am?
Annie.
Annie's dangling.
Okay,
right
so
now.
a shoe is dangling from her toe. That's a
This
dangle.
is very difficult to do, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, now give us some dipping, Annie.
Okay, so what's
Dipping is you'd have to stand up and
into it.
then you're pretend you're checking somebody into a hotel and you're working the computer and you're kind of absent-mindedly like that's dipping.
All right.
Although now I'm wondering what heel popping actually is, because that involves.
I thought this was heel popping, where it's like where you've got the.
No,
No,
that's
it's when
Nancy
your
Drew.
heel pops out of it.
Oh,
I can't do it in these shoes.
Then how is that different than? I'm so confused.
But it's where your heel sort of pops out.
Okay. Somehow I'm still not turned on. I don't understand. I mean, not because you're not beautiful and sexy.
No, I
sexy
don't know
women.
why this isn't doing anything for you.
Yeah, I've never got the feet thing. I mean, I like feet. I'm not averse to feet. I've never seen the allure of.
I know what heel popping is. I just realized it's heel popping is the precursor to a dangle, because you can't dangle unless you pop the heel. But so heel popping enthusiasts just want to see that popping of the heel over and over
I just want
again.
to see this moment.
Yeah, that moment.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
back on and off and on.
But as far as I've been told, once you pop, you can't stop.
All right, come on. Let's thank these ladies.
All right, sit the fuck down. All right, thank you very much.
Our poor listeners, they're like, do you want to welcome us into this world? What are you doing? You got people up on stage showing us shoe things?
Our job is not to care about the listeners. It's our job to reward the live audience, Dan.
All right, start the laser show. Whoa, too soon. Oh, interesting take on the Jimmy Kimmel situation visually. I never thought about that laid out in that diagram. Oh, that brings it all together. Well, good night, folks.